Hey Outlaws! So this morning I woke up and I was woke because I'm trying to wake up earlier because certain practices I have, they have to do it early in the morning instead of like middle of the day so everyone gets some sleep. Good fun. One of the videos I woke up to was Shadiversity talking about sword content YouTube is dead. Specifically also talking about his channel dying and being pushed to the side. And then all sword content channels are also dying off as well. I can confirm that over the course of 2024, my channel's views, subscribers have just nosedived and plummeted. So I do feel them. However, with my channel, a lot of that is just simply because I wasn't publishing as much content in 2024 because I kept facing injuries and having problems. So 2024 is not really a good comparison. So what I decided to do is gather information from multiple sources, Social Blade, people's actual YouTube channels, and then just kind of look to see what is YouTube actually pushing and to see if Shadiversity is correct. Now, his main points are, one, sword content is dying, so I grabbed a bunch of sword channels, 9 of them to be exact, all from different locations. So I have the other information from Social Blade and their YouTube channels. Now, some of those channels have something suspicious and weird going on with them, and I'll discuss that with you. But I'm also going to look at what they're doing right, what I think they're doing wrong. We're just going to go over this real quick. And at the end, I'm also going to go over what YouTube is actually pushing and what I predict will be the future of anything medieval, sword content, whatever, and like where the trends are going. Okay, so let's get started with Shadiversity. Now, when I said earlier that there's something weird going on, this is what I meant. So Social Blade has pretty accurate counts and pretty accurate tracking of both small and large channels and how well they're doing. So something weird is going on with Shadiversity and Scholr's channel. First thing is weird about Shad's is it says he has 67 million views the last 30 days, and that's very obviously not accurate. There's also, if you come over here during his weekly subscribers, there's 2 instances where he has negative 10,000 subscribers, one in May 2024 and again in December 2024, which doesn't really make any sense. There also at some points in this measuring thing where it says negative 91 million video views. Now, you could be saying, well, David, this is Social Blade's not working well. But Social Blade's been pretty accurate with all the other channels, including my own, that I looked up. So I don't think that's the case. Shad, maybe you're being targeted by bots. Maybe you're being targeted by bad actors. I just want to get rid of you. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that hate you on YouTube, and it helps you feel better. There's a lot of people that hate me too. So there's that. And then you looked at everything here, and there's this weird dip, and then there's weird chunks. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, but let's take a look. So let's say 2022, he's getting like 3 million views, video views. Okay, 2.1. It kind of popped up during 2023, and I think 2023 was really was Shad's big year, 2023, 2024, because he had he had Nate on there, he had Tyrant on there. They had a good dynamic going. And then something gets weird and wonky as soon as 2024 comes around, and it's like death. And then you can see from June all the way up to November, December, he's just not getting the views that he normally did. They went way down. He used to get like 12 million, 10 million, 9 million. And now he's getting like 1 and 2. So something suspicious going on there. Now, Scholr also has something suspicious going on with his channel too. But it's the opposite in most cases. Some cases he has huge spikes of plus 10,000 subscribers. And then he also, around December, has negative 10,000 subscribers. Something weird going on with that. Now, when you have views for Scholr, his is also, again, having a weird thing going on with a huge dip. And they're the only 2 channels I saw with this. But if you look at Scholr, at May 2022, he had 2.7 million video views. I would love to have 1 million video views in 1 month. But you go over here, May, it's 2.1, 2.7. And then May 2024 is back to 2.7, but it's kind of like going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So his numbers are kind of weird, but let's take a look at Shadiversity's actual channel. Okay, so his video views, if we look at, let's look at these 16, right? What's the highest number we see here? 145,000. And then that's it. 145,000. That's not bad for small YouTube channels, but for him, that's not good either. Especially, like I said earlier, he's used to hundreds of thousands of views. Now, Scholr, let's take a look at his videos. His first 16. Okay, so his top one right here is 189,000, but hilariously, it has nothing to do with medieval weapons. It has to do with firearms. Like, all right, so the videos are not getting a lot of views, right? Let's click their shorts. So the top 10 right here, honestly, a lot of Shad shorts are also not getting a lot of views. 121,000 views. 200. Okay, so his top one on his first 10 is 221,000 views. Let's go Scholr. His shorts, first 10. Top one is 367,000 views, 286,000. Top one with a sword on it is 408,000 views. And then, no, this one here at the bottom, 759,000 views for shorts. But I think the difference here is, I believe, Scholr. Yeah, Scholr publishes more than Shad. So what could be going on is, since Scholr is publishing shorts, or at least probably more shorts than, no, actually no, about the same amount. Okay, so we ran into a bit of a conundrum here. As I said, I don't entirely agree that sword videos are dying off. I think it's the presentation and who the larger audience that YouTube is pushing out to. And there's a certain demographic that YouTube likes. YouTube doesn't like conservatives. And it's... Now, there are a lot of conservatives on YouTube that do very well, but those conservatives usually have connections to media companies, Hollywood, like Brett Cooper. Brett Cooper's like everyone's sweetheart right now, but she's been in Hollywood, Los Angeles, like most of her life. She's been involved with those, so she's deeply embedded with media. Cordring also has some attachments to that. Benny Johnson, he also has a lot of attachments to the Blaze, Breitbart, things like that. So even they are doing excessively well on YouTube. But what that leads me to believe, Shad, or whoever's watching this, is most of these channels that aren't doing well is because they're actual people, not individuals connected to media companies that are willing to saddle up with YouTube, kissy, play ball and create something out of it. And I'll provide more information on that a little bit earlier and provide, examples from the trending page. Okay, now let's look at somebody who's doing excessively well. Sellsword Arts, very modern, definitely pushing towards the demographic that YouTube wants. Now, does that mean that his videos are doing well? His long form videos? No. His long form videos, not so great. Well, this one right here is 100,000 views, so that's pretty good. 100,000 views. I'd love to have that. 53,000 views, 38. But really, much less than what you and Scholr were getting. But let's take a look at his shorts. And this is where he makes his money. So he, keep in mind, started his channel on February 29th, 2020. He also has 741 million views. So he has way more uploads and way more views than Shadiversity has. Let's take a look at Scholr. Scholr has 1,582 uploads. Still about 200 less than Sellsword Arts, but he's been around since 2006. Shad, yours, you have 998 uploads because you just don't really do shorts, and you also just publish more slowly than others do. You've also been around since 2013, but your video views is 380 million. Now, I have changed the way my channel is run because I didn't used to push out that much content. Like I said, to 2024, I stopped pushing. I mean, I did a lot of shorts, which I thought were fine, but there are usually huge gaps, and obviously I eventually paid for that. I'm changing it now, and the algorithm started to pick up. We'll get back to that. Okay, so here, Sellsword Arts algorithm is not as messed up. See, he's getting fairly consistent. Okay, so this must, big channels, he must do 10,000, 20,000. But when you look at his total video views, it's very organic and it's going up. So yeah, it came 2022, he had 30 million video views. It kind of went down for a while. Still getting millions of views. But then here, December 2024, he peaked back up to 39 million. And that's about the time where he really started cranking out a lot of shorts. The amount of subscribers has dwindled down a little bit, but it hasn't completely plummeted. So what's interesting, and you mentioned this, Shad, is that really subscribers don't mean anything. It's just how many people are actually watching your content and engaging with it. Okay, so Sellsword Arts kind of shows that there is an interest in the sword community. Like, he covers other things too. He's very, very much aimed at the modern audience. But again, he's showing that there are exceptions, what you said, that there are some sword channels that are growing. It's just, he's just more arrogant, aggressive, and very modern. And that seems to be working for him. Okay, let's dive into the giant sword community a little bit here. Okay, so Tommy Ashman. Now, Tommy, he is the sword bro of the giant sword community. Okay, just that's what he is. All right, so he has 136. His channel, specifically, he created January 17, 2023. Video views, 68 million. Now, he used the channel type sports. Sellsword Arts, his channel type was in the entertainment. Scholr was entertainment. Shad's, yours was education. So it also, I guess, it depends on who you're aiming at. Now, Ashman was never trying to be like, look at me, I'm a swordsman. They developed what I called Blade Flow afterwards. Him and Game of Harmony developed it, and he added to it. But they weren't really aiming to be educational, whatever. It's just more like, wow, look at me, I'm awesome, buy my board. And it worked for a while. I don't know if his business is really doing that great, but I know it was very popular. Got some of the shorts got huge amounts of views. They were popular for a while, and I know he's still working, pushing his product at a lot of Olympias. But let's take a look at him. Okay, so he really peaked back in January 2024. And then he's had small amounts of subscribers. Now, he's not as dedicated to his YouTube channel as he is to his Instagram. Instagram, where he has connections to his shop, that's where he focuses a lot. But Instagram, again, is more focused on like actual selling products. It's a pay-to-play platform. I remember when Ashman came to the scene, he blew up overnight. He had connections through Game of Harmony to a lot of the fitness industry. Like once he met him and started working with him, he kind of blew up with places. I also know he worked with a production company that helped run his account, and also got him blowing up his followers. He has like 2 or 3 Instagram accounts. And that definitely helped him blow up. But it is technically still sword content. Even though it's not a real sword. It's a piece of workout equipment. Okay. But you can see that his views have dwindled down. Now, he could be like me, like just didn't work on it for a while. I don't think he's published so much stuff. But they're definitely not as big as they once were. They peaked, they kind of came crashing down. Same thing with subscribers. And if you look at his channel, he doesn't really do the long form. Like, he'll post it like sometimes kind of like a documentary style, but they don't get a lot of views. I think the highest views one has is 18,000 right here. His shorts are a different story. Let's take a look at most recent shorts. He's got 13,000, 13,000, 19,000, 26,000, 65, 36. This one right here, I think, is the most at 104. No, this one right here is 2.8 million. So yeah, occasionally, like if you're doing cool tricks and stuff like that, it'll go viral. It'll blow up. But that's the thing with shorts. Some shorts do great. Some shorts, not at all. Okay, now let's look at the newest member of the giant sword community, Hale the Blacksmith. Now, his channel has been around for a while. It's 2017. He was building a lot of pieces. He's a blacksmith. Now, his, again, looks accurate. But if you look at it, it wasn't going anywhere. And I believe he started publishing shorts where he was calling what he called his warriors to come join him and subscribe. And then he went to do his, I'm going to train with the Drag Slayer every day until I get to 10,000. And that worked. That worked very well. He's very personable. People like him. He acts goofy. But his audience engages with him. In fact, if you go to one of his videos, like the most recent one right here, even though it has only like 464 views. Oops, here you go. I'll give you a like, Hale. Look at the engagement. For a video that has only 464 views, that is a crap ton of engagement. And I think the problem with Shad, when I looked at his, I left you a little note there. You don't really engage with yours as much, Shad. I mean, there are some right here. I see a lot of hearts, but I don't see you really applying. That's something that you could start doing, man. I know that takes time and it sucks. I don't know if you have a friend or someone you could trust that could at least talk to your audience, but something to think about. Okay, so Hale, now look, his is the opposite. It's start small and then start blowing up in huge chunks. Goes down in huge chunks, but goes up. Now, honestly, his projected growth is going to continue up if he continues the way he is right now, because he's really blowing up right now. He's really taking off. Okay, so let's go to my channel. Now, my channel is not doing great. Honestly, I'm kind of with you on Shad. Like, yeah, it's kind of getting killed off, shoved on the corner. Now, is because what I'm doing is boring? Not really. I have a freaking giant sword. It's sharp as hell. It's dangerous. And I'm training with I have training with the giant sword. I'm showing my progress now. I've got a suit of armor, real suit of armor, Buhurt armor, so it weighs a ton. It weighs 100 pounds. But I'm doing something different that nobody else is really doing. I do have a lot of haters. Some of the people on this list here have gone out of their way to take shots at me and never really properly respond when I respond to them, but whatever. But generally speaking, it's a giant sword channel. And if you look at my shorts is where I have the most success. Let's look at my past 12 right here. Top one's 20,000 views. The second one is 4,600. That's not great. 2,400, 17. Now, I agree with you that YouTube does kill sword content. We used to get early this year, January, and before that, if we published a short, we would at least get 4,000 or 5,000 views. Easy. That doesn't happen anymore. Our videos, let's take a look at these ones right here. The top video view is, well, right here, a Berserk chapter 378. Most of our people have not subscribed for Berserk anime content, but we still do it because we do have people that subscribe for that. So it's something that people can affiliate with. Now, if I go over here to my social blade, you can see it's the exact opposite of most of these. It's going down. Well, kind of like yours too. It's going down, down, down. My amount of subscribers have gone down. That's funny. So I can tell you right now, these estimated monthly earnings, they're not accurate at all. Subtract from that. And my views have gone down. Now, the unique thing, Shad, or who's watching this, there's mine and all of others, is the injuries I have suffered throughout this year have led to huge dips. Like when I injured myself in January, I had to take some time off. That's when it started to dip a little bit, but I picked up by doing shorts. Injured myself Buhurt by damaging my knee, stopped training for a while, lost views, got better, went back to training, got injured again, dipped, went back, got injured another time, and this kept going down. And I also just wasn't publishing enough. And one of my subscribers, Zip Bob, he's laid it flat out. He's like, look, you stopped doing long form videos and you stopped publishing, or you just only did shorts, so I just kind of lost interest and moved on. sucks, but the long form videos is what really helps engage your people and the people want to talk to you. Now, people still talk to me in the shorts, but not as much. But anyways, you can look right here and see that my channel is starting to make a recovery. And this one here, not so much. So I agree to some certain extent. YouTube is kind of pushing away and killing it off. So that's with the giant sword community. Now let's take a look here at someone in the HEMA community that's not really huge, but I respect. He's very big in my eyes. So this is Federico Malaguti. Now he again shows that there is actual growth occurring in the sword community, and he's not snarky, he's not rude, he's not like Sellsword Arts, or at least not from what I've seen. And a lot of his long form content, which actually his long form content does better than his short form, it actually does better because I think it has a lot of go-to like tutorials and instructions on how to fight with swords. And I think that's what helps him grow. But look at this. He's slowly getting better. He has some dips, but he's getting better. Same thing with his subscriber base. He's growing quite a bit. And if you go to his channel, look on his videos, not the best views, but not bad either. Like he's got one right here, 11,000, talking about hand snipes, because, you know, smacking people in their hands. I could tell you doing Buford, I've seen some people get their hands jacked up and being smacked, but that's usually also because they have really bad gauntlets. You gotta get good gauntlets. But let's look at his shorts. His shorts aren't really getting much better views than his long form videos, so he might be the exception to the rule where his shorts are doing okay, but he's able to connect to his audience through videos. And that's the thing too, if I forgot to mention that, with Hale the Blacksmith. Hale the Blacksmith doesn't really do shorts at all. He stopped doing them. Like these are all old before he got to his 10,000. He was growing his audience through days on these posted videos alone. But I think Federico, he's growing as the HEMA community grows, but he also has a way to connect to his audience that really builds him up. Like, let's click on this one real quick. Look at him. This is what I'm talking about. He connects with his audience. He doesn't need to be obnoxious and snarky. He talks to them. He leaves replies. That's something I try to do. Okay, let's go to Dash Rendar. Dash Rendar is kind of also like, I wouldn't say he's a sports bro, but he's the flex bro. He's the flex bro of what this is what I'm calling like the new next generation of sword content, the extreme sports section of medieval content. That includes Buhurt. I kind of include that on my channel too, because we're doing competitions now. We're calling out other members of the Giant Sword Committee. And then same thing with the Quetum, which I'll get here in just a minute too. He represents the extreme testing side of YouTube with all these type of weapons and armor that I'm sure you've talked about before, but they go to extreme lengths. And I think a lot of Shadiversity's biggest wins have always been when he tests weapons out. And that's really what gains his audience. Now, if you look at his first 16 here, his highest view video is right here, 60,000. Yeah, 6,000. He's not getting a crap ton of views on his long form, but he's already very popular. A lot of people know him. He does collabs with other YouTubers quite frequently. Gotta do collabs, otherwise you die in obscurity pretty much. Let's click shorts. All right, so his top short is 20,000. Not doing so good. Like, he tied with my stupid armor failure video. So this is his recent ones though. The older, more popular ones. If I click this one real quick, you've got like 10 million, 5 million. So, but those are older ones. And now if this goes back to reinforce what you're saying, Shad, is that his channel, like mine, is going down. And not only subscribers, but also views. We go here, he peaked November 2023, and has been just dwindling down ever since. It picked up a little bit in January. So that, again, kind of justifies what you're saying, that a lot of these things with actual swords and craziness are kind of dying off. It seems that really only HEMA is growing right now. HEMA and well, Hale's growing too, but I feel like, again, I really feel that's because he's connecting with his audience in a really good way. Let's click this most recent video he did. Hit pause. So here's what he's doing. Here's Dequetum on the top part right there. He's talking and engaging with everyone. And I think that's what keeps him going. But even then, his channel's not blowing up. So it's kind of, again, justifying what you're saying. Okay. Last example here. All right. Dequetum. So he's been around since 2013. He's under sports. He's had 166 uploads. I think that's like the least amount of uploads we've seen so far. He has 41 million views. His also is kind of like peaking, going down. But if you look right here, okay, so he's another example of extreme mix of HEMA and then extreme armored fighting. And it seems to be doing very, very well. Like he peaked here in September, but he's also peaking again because of his recently produced video of the night fight versus peasants. So this is, again, sword content, armored combat fighting. It is growing. Let me do one more. I want to do Grant the Knight. He's like one of the more well-known YouTubers. Okay, so Grant, boom, he peaked, and then he's reeling back down. So again, justifying what you're saying, that although he's kind of known, he's known for his chopper, he's also known for his axe. So his also plummeted down, unfortunately. Okay, one more. Let's do SW. Okay, so here's SW Ride. He's fairly famous YouTuber. He's definitely blown up quite a bit. He actually subscribed to me a few months ago, and after he subscribed to me, he started doing the ballistic gel videos. He liked what he saw. He's like, you know what? I'm going to do the same exact thing. Okay, let's look at him real quick. All right. Boom. So his top short is this one, 32,000. Now, like it or not, Viewhurt is a fairly accurate representation of armored combat fighting. It's not like Dequetum's level where you're stabbing and thrusting, but it's pretty darn accurate. And it's also extremely dangerous. And I stand by those words. So his videos really don't go very far. I think like the top one here is like 3,100 views, 3,200 views. But he's got 100,000 subscribers. So let's take a look on Social Blade. So this one, Shad, again, kind of justifies what you're saying. It peaked. May got 18 million video views. Congrats, man. Down and went up and then went flying back down. So it's not really building up. So right now it seems that YouTube is, they're really just, out of these 11 examples I gave, only 3 are really growing. The rest are dying off. Unfortunately, that includes me too, although I'm trying to fight it. And it does justify what you were saying. So yeah, overall, 3 out of 11, it's not good. But it seems like only certain types of channels are really succeeding. You got Hale, Sellsword Arts, and then you have Federico Malaguti. But what is YouTube actually trying to push? I remember we had like the big rah, 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 sis kumbah, we're doing fantastic. YouTube, when you go on the trending page, they're pushing CNNBC, and people try to say like, "Oh, legacy media is dead," blah blah blah. It's like legacy media is leaving behind their cable shows and flocking to YouTube. And a lot of people that are doing well on YouTube have connections to Hollywood. Like Brett Cooper right here, deep connections with Hollywood. Ditched her parents age of 15. Basically just been doing TV shows and productions ever since. Looking at here, we got ESPN, 12 hours, 735,000 views. Again, I'm not comparing this stuff to sword channels, but I'm just giving you examples. Mr. Beast, 2 days ago, he got 49 million views. Most channels never see 49 million views. He got in one freaking show. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I think what Shad is saying is correct. YouTube is killing off medieval content, medieval fighting content. Only certain channels are being given the pass, but those channels are very clean. They're cut. They're aggressive. They're aimed. Seems more like a modern audience, or they're very clean, professional, and there's not really a lot of chaos going on. Channels like mine, other Buhurt channels, more aggressive channels, there's not really picking up as much anymore. We may not be what YouTube wants. Like, hey, these guys are a little too aggressive, and shove it off the side. Even though we've got NFL over here and MMA fights being pushed, but we also got like some dude making a SpongeBob cake and getting 6.2 million views. Yeah. Anyway, Shad, I hope you had some success, man. Turns around for you. And I honestly hope the same for me. Outlaws, this was a long one, but I just had a lot to talk about. And I just wanted to cover what's going on and see whether or not he was right. We'll see you next time.